It's a great art fundraising, it is, and it's also the most difficult.
It's a great privilege for you both to be here.
Well,
No.
Can we run, Alex?
yeah. Right, Rufus, have them in your hands.
Off we go. Your Majesty and very dear friends, good evening. It is, needless to say, a huge honour to be invited by our royal patron to the palace this evening to celebrate the work of the National Theatre. I'm joined tonight by my co-chief executive, Kate Vara. Where's Kate? She's just here. And also by my successor, Indu Rubisingham, who's also here. From April, they will be leading this unique place forward together with our superb chair, Sir Damon Buffini, who, of course, has been brilliantly steering this incredible organisation for some time. It's an incredible organisation because of all the people in this room, those of you who have the vision to create the wonderful theatre stories that we tell, those of you who bring those stories to life with your superlative performances, and of course those of you who make all of this work happen in our theatres, around the country, across the globe, on screens, and most importantly perhaps, in schools. Tonight is a celebration of you, our dearest friends. Your Majesty, your patronage and the kinship of this superb group of people give me and us, I think, the right to say with confidence that the National Theatre is the preeminent theatre in the English-speaking language, sparking imagination, nurturing talent, and inspiring the world. Thank you, and thank you all.
No, Rufus, please. Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it. Trippingly on the tongue, but if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I just leave the town crier spoke my line. I do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use more gently. For in the very torrent tempest, as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Defends me to the soul to see some peruke-pated, rumbustrous fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are capable of nothing but indistinguishable dumb shows and noise. But be not too tame neither. Use your discretion for your tutor, suit the action to the word to the action. But observe this. Anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end both at first and now was and is to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, its form and pressure. I have seen players and heard them praised, and have so strutted and bellowed that I thought one of nature's journeymen had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably. So, get you ready.
I've been trying to get so many shouldn't go to culture. No, but they're the people that should go. They're the people that should go. I've done it twice, and then I've been in it twice.
It's very exciting.
As the host, the game show host. No, it's very boring. It's very boring. You know they're changing it. They're making a change. The one that goes. Yeah, well they're going to change that. Oh really? They're such perfections. They never not annoy me. That you walk up the stairs, but they just couldn't have done.
Oh, what did you enjoy? the real movie. A real movie? Yes. It's nice.
We sat next to each other at the gala.
We were supposed to go for a drive to see how's it going. We had a very nice chat at the Oswald where thank you for your support. We got you after, come on. No, I'm you're right here. This is a sensational dress. Well, fantastic.
There was such a hard time.
You should do something like this. Just lift the ceiling of talent.
See you again. But yes,
This is an illusion as well. This actually isn't a live.
it's 9 foot high. Honestly, many have.
Maybe it's 11. It might be somewhere in that region.
They did a production of it a year ago in New York. But it's a different so we start stress. It's the most well, I've only done one about
Contribution to all
happiest day of my career.
Beginning it.
As I say, I'll probably see you next week.
What about not having
Hello, how are you? Nice to see you.
Because you might have correct.
It's hard when you're it's hard.
So I'm really put it together. Oh my goodness, I'm something new every day. Yes, I do.
I must tell you, the wonderful Dr. Bessie was just at the National Theatre a few months ago. Absolutely wonderful on our stage as well. So quite an unusual family.
That means he got the Oscar. So I think he's winning.
That's my fault.
So what is
He's got an Oscar on one hand.
Who I mean, regards to service to Oh, I remember.
See if I can act together.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. Well, I mean, we're going to imagine if she just telling him about a corporate gig I'm tomorrow, actually hosting the better part of it. No, you're It's an actual thing I've done.
So good these scripts are.
But I love cash.
Very nice to see you. Are you here? Or are you Were you back?
Yes. I've been back about 2 months.
So there are so many books. So there is time. I'm right. Still yeah. It's nice for getting to the spring. Oh, this is so
Hello, Your Majesty.
Hello, my lord. Very nice to see you.
I recently met in Brighton.
Oh, no,
Oh, really? We just made it so.
Oh, so, so nice coming back.
Well, I mean, it's,
You know, it's a lot of people.
really inspiring. Christmas time.
same company that makes patties and bits, so we should have that kind of sold to
Yeah, very, very nice to see you. How are you? Nice to see you. I do. Oh, no, yes, it's lovely. So, as much as you can. Well,
Okay, let's go now.
What Ian stated you do.
Okay,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, well, let me know.
We're going to pre-position in the other room.
Pardon?
We're going to pre-position in the other room.
So we're going to be out there and they're going to call us in 2 minutes before so we can get back into position for when we
Just take everyone else.
Your Majesty. So delighted you could join me. Shall we walk? Shall we walk? Now, there is a very eager young man awaiting us in the next room. He desires my daughter's hand. I do not have high hopes, but I would value your opinion.
I think we are. I think we should be.
That you are not down on my list of eligible young men. Although I have the same list as my dear friend, Her Majesty does, we work together, in fact. However, I am quite ready to enter your name should your answers be what a really affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes. I must admit I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I have always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I'm pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it, and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England, at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious danger to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's lifetime and the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. That is all that can be said about land.
Well, I have a country house with some land, of course, attached to it. About 1,500 acres, I believe, but I don't depend on that for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only people who make anything out of it.
A country house. How many house, I hope? A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to receive.
Well, I own a house in Belgrave Square, but it's let by the year to Lady Bloxham. Of course, I can get it back whenever I like, at 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham?
She's a lady considerably advanced in years.
Nowadays, that is no guarantee of respectability of character. Fashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that could easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashionable side?
Oh, if necessary, I presume. They dine with us, or come in the evening, at any rate. Now, to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
Both? Commerce? Or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
I'm afraid I really don't know.
The fact is, Lady Bracknell, I said I had lost my parents. By birth, I was found.
Found?
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of very charitable and kindly disposition, found me and gave me the Worthington place in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
Where did this charitable gentleman who had a first-class ticket to the seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial! Mr. Worthing, I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To handles are not seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that reminds one of the worst. As for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom for that very purpose before now, but it could hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
May I ask you then what you'd advise me to do? I would hardly say...
A definite effort to produce at any rate one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It's in my dressing room at home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You could hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good day, Mr. Worthing.
Morning.
Young man, give me my seat, please.
Oh, for goodness sake! Don't play that ghastly tune now, Jean. How idiotic you are!
Didn't it go off all right, old boy? You don't mean to say Gwendolen refused you. I know it is a way she has. She's always refusing people. I think it is most ill-natured of her.
But Gwendolen is as right as a trivet. Oh. As far as she is concerned, we are engaged. Look, her mother. Perfectly unbearable. I've never met such a gorgon. I don't really know what a gorgon is like, but I'm quite sure Lady Bracknell is one. In any case, she is a monster without being a myth, which is rather unfair! I beg your pardon, Algy. I suppose I shouldn't talk that way about your own aunt before you...
My dear boy, I've not the smallest instinct about when to die.
Oh, that is nonsense.
It isn't.
Well, I won't argue about the matter. You always want to argue about things.
Well, that is exactly what things were originally made for.
Upon my word, if I thought that, I'd shoot myself. You don't think there's any chance of Gwendolen becoming like her mother in about 150 years, do you, Algy?
All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That is his.
Is that clever?
It is perfectly phrased and quite as true as any observation in civilized life should be.
I'm sick to death of cleverness. Everybody's clever nowadays. You can't go anywhere without meeting clever people. The thing has become an absolute public nuisance. I wish to goodness we had a few fools left.
We have.
Well, I should extremely like to meet them. What do they talk about?
The fools? Oh, clever people, of course.
What fools?
By the way, did you tell Gwendolen the truth? About your being Earnest in town, Jack in the country?
My dear fellow, the truth is not the sort of thing one tells to a nice, sweet, refined girl. What extraordinary ideas you have about the way to behave to a woman.
The only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she is pretty and to someone else if she is plain.
That is nonsense.
What about your brother? What should we do after dinner? Should we go to the theatre?
No! I loathe listening.
Well, let us go to the club.
No, I hate talking.
Well, we might trot round the Empire at 10.
No, I can't bear looking at things. It's so silly.
Well, what shall we do?
Nothing.
It's awfully hard work doing nothing. However, I don't mind hard work when there's no definite object of any kind. Shall we go to the palace?
No, I can't abide the palace.
I've got nearly 17 hanging baskets in this back garden. Believe it or not, begonias and petunias and impatiens and things.
Marigolds, petunias, that we got up there. We got busy lizzies, hanging geraniums, right to see.
There's all sorts in that basket anyway.
Hanging lobelias, petunias in a basket, hanging basket.
That's the fuchsia. There is a special name, I just call them lilies. They're a lily type. There is a special name, and for the first time this year I've got a couple of baskets. Begonias and petunias and impatiens and things.
Marigolds, petunias. We got busy lizzies, hanging lobelias, hanging lobelias, hanging lobelias.
Hanging baskets, variegated ivy in there, which makes a nice show. And then you've got these sky blue, whatever they are, la la, that's little purple ones.
Rhubarb, the old-fashioned margarets, the daisies.
The roses have done really well this year.
Yeah. Gave us an extra point for having basil on the windowsill, didn't you?
Yeah. Hanging baskets,
Rhubarb,
variegated ivy
the old-fashioned
in there.
margarets,
Yeah,
the
it's a nice
daisies.
show. The roses. Then you've got these
The
sky
old-fashioned
blue. This
margarets,
year,
the
yeah.
daisies.
Whatever they are.
I got nearly 17 hanging baskets in this back garden.
Purple ones.
Begonias and petunias and impatiens and the first time we begonias and petunias and impatiens and things. Begonias and petunias and impatiens and things. Impatiens and things. Impatiens and things. Impatiens and
For home, it's absolutely fantastic that you are our patron. We are, after all, the Royal National Theatre. It means a huge amount to us to have your support. We'd like to see you more often. You could drag your other half along as well if you'd like to. We promise it won't be too long. So that's, and it really means a lot to us to have you as a supporter. I'd like to say thank you very much to all of everybody here and everybody there, and who has been so prominent this afternoon. We're so lucky in this country to have world-class performers. And we don't take it for granted at the National Theatre. It's every time we see you, all of you on stage, it's such a real privilege. So thank you very much for doing that and supporting us, because we also really need your support. Thank you to the staff of the Palace. I know how much effort goes into these things. It runs incredibly smoothly all the time, and you know, behind the scenes there was a lot of work, and also to the National Theatre staff who've also made this happen. Of course, finally, thank you to all our supporters. We're so delighted that you could come this evening. Sort of we're all together in supporting what is a world-class institution, as we've seen today, right at the top of its game. We are in a process of transition, we know that, handing from Rufus to Indu. And I'm absolutely sure we will continue on that trajectory of being just representative of what is the best in class in the world. So just like to thank you as a chair for all your support. It makes a massive difference to us. And I'm really delighted you come this evening. Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. It's one of my favourite bits. It's absolutely lovely. Before I'll have back.
Hugh and Susie.
Hello, how are you? Last time I saw you, you were recording the night before Christmas at Paris House.
Yes.
Yes, we did it. Everybody did a bit of it.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it?
Thank you for having me back.
Well, it's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Very nice to see you. Lady Brightmore, herself. Did you enjoy me?
I have loved every second of Breakfast. It's never something I expected to play, so to be able to show that
It's
part.
fantastic. It's brilliant.
It's a play that you love?
It's one of my favourite. It's really one of my.
So
It's
you
so
enjoy yourself
funny. It
yourself?
really makes me laugh. Anyway, you were brilliant at it. You got her spot on. I like all your decorations.
Yes, you can't nick any though.
No, I can't. No,
So if you want to fashion yourself a lovely
yeah, I could borrow a few for a steak dinner. I think it did just the job. It's a very big diamond. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're really kind. Very much. So, did you take a lot of rehearsals here?
Not a lot. They really started this morning.
Just this morning. And here you are.
Yeah, with all those wonderful hanging baskets.
Yes, with all the hanging baskets. So I hope they're going to be bequeathed.
Well,
Absolutely.
well, if they are, enjoy them.
It's lovely. Thank you very much. So what are you all doing?
So we start rehearsals for this in April.
Oh, so it's
We've already done it nearly 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was our first time around, and then we're coming back to it. So it's
to-
exciting. We're
At the
we're
right
probably
age.
all at the right age to play the part.
Thank you very much indeed. Hopefully we might be able to see it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I hope so.
It's really fantastic. Hello, I see you've got quite a big cast. Hello,
to get through.
how are you? Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. It's lovely occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mum.
Well, it was a lovely occasion. I think everybody enjoyed it.